Number 2 in completion percentage, Jaden Daniels, right behind Will Rogers. But you know what he's not behind Will Rogers in? Quarterback rating. Jaden Daniels is number 1 in the SEC. But passing touchdowns, Jaden Daniels takes number 3. I think he's proven a lot of the haters wrong. I was skeptical of his accuracy. I mean, the dude comes out here and through 2 games, he's number 2 in the SEC in completion percentage. I'm going to give him the credit. Welcome to the Verd and Verdict Sports Show, where we bring you sports talk on the go. We're sponsored by Honest Abe's, and today we're going to preview LSU's 1,300th game. It'll be against Mississippi State. It'll be the SEC opener. Brian Kelly's first taste of SEC action as an SEC football team's head coach. Speaking with Brian Kelly this week, he put emphasis on the fact that Mississippi State will be an air raid offense. Everyone wants to talk about how will LSU defend the air raid offense. How will they be able to react? I say LSU's DBU. We talked to Mekhi Garner where he said that he doesn't get caught up in the lights and he doesn't get distracted by the fact that they're supposed to go out there and perform. He's just going to get it done. He's going to do what he has to do to get that W. And I think that's a general consensus of the team. The DB group is one of their stronger groups. The D-line group, is going to have a lot of emphasis put on them by Matt House to get Will Rogers off his spot. A phenomenal quarterback is coming to Death Valley. So, all eyes are going to be on that defense to see how they're going to handle it. But, that's what everyone's been talking about all week. Let's kind of put some attention on this offense here. We got a lot of different key factors to weigh in now for this week. LSU saw a little bit of rough spells of the offensive lineman against Florida State, but those rough spells will be gone. Brian Kelly edited the offensive line. He moved Dellinger out of the center position, and he put Turner in at center. Also, running back room is going to get a big boost as John Emery Jr. is going to return for his first game of the season. Matter of fact, his first game in over a year. John Emery Jr. is finally going to be back on the gridiron, and it can't come at a better time. We need everything we can get. We need every little drop of efficiency, every little drop of explosiveness, every little drop of skill out there on that field to really go out there and show the world that LSU in the first year under Brian Kelly can handle SEC competition, and not only SEC competition, but an overwhelmingly powerful Mississippi State offense and defense. People are sleeping on the Bulldogs. Will Rogers is a phenomenal quarterback. Will Rogers is the SEC passing yard leader, passing touchdown leader, and completion percentage leader. 763 pass yards, 9 passing touchdowns, 78% completion. Will Rogers is getting it done. He could torch any defense, any place, anytime, and on Saturday he's going to try to prove that. But LSU's defense is going to have to go out there. That defensive line is going to have to push him around. B.J. Ojolari's coming back. Jay Roy's out here, going to be doing his thing. Ali Gay's going to be able to play the whole game. Seven Banks is returning the defensive side of things. That DB room is stacked. You got a lot of people fighting for minutes. Brian Kelly said Sage Ryan has been proving himself, and he's going to be seeing a lot more growth in playing time. But that run game coming back for LSU, and then that defensive line focus, I think is going to be the two main things, the two main themes that you look at LSU to rely on all year. That seems to be kind of the foundation of this team. That's what's going to ground them, is that ground game. Success in the run game on the other side of the ball in offense, and then stopping that run or putting pressure on that side of the ball on the defensive side. They had a lot of different showings throughout the year for Mississippi State on how they could be effective. I think it's really just going to be about how long can LSU keep up. LSU can obviously put their foot on the gas pedal and just blow up the scoreboard. They put up a record-setting first quarter amount of points in 37 last week against Southern. I don't think the question is, can LSU score? We know that they averaging over 400 yards a game. The question will be, how long can they score? Florida State was a down-to-the-wire, grueling game, and you saw LSU implode. LSU could not finish. LSU could not push the pace, score the ball, get it back, and then, continue to be efficient. There were some mistakes made. There was nerves, but there was also a lot of people making mistakes because of their energy and because of the situation that they were putting themselves in. I think a lot of knowledge is instilled in these guys now. They got a lot of knowledge through failure, losing that game. They got a lot of knowledge through also success. The next week in week 2, they did a lot of great things, and they saw a lot of good things on live reps. I think this team grew a lot. I think the conditioning grew a lot. I think that, we go out here, we get Kayshawn active early. Jaden Daniels is able to, get protected by that offensive line. He's sealed off that pocket, allows him to read and make the throws that he's able to make. Jay Daniels is nothing to scoff at either. I've been seeing, some comments about LSU's quarterback situation. I think LSU is in a great spot in their quarterback situation. Jay Daniels is doing things that no LSU quarterback has ever done before. Before Jay Daniels in week 1, you never saw an LSU quarterback in regulation pass for 200 yards and rush for 100. Yeah, we've seen it done in overtime. It was a 7 overtime game. Yeah, Joe Burrow's a great quarterback as well, but it took him 7 overtimes to record that. Jay Daniels did it in 1 game. Of course, he was running all over the field because the offensive line was, getting busted up. But at the same time, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Also, Jay Daniels in SEC, we talked about Will Rogers leading and this, that, and the other. Number 2 in completion percentage. Jay Daniels, right behind Will Rogers. But you know what he's not behind Will Rogers in? Quarterback rating. Jay Daniels is number 1 in the SEC. But passing touchdowns, Jay Daniels takes number 3. I think he's proven a lot of the haters wrong. I was skeptical of his accuracy. I mean, the dude comes out here and through 2 games, he's number 2 in the SEC in completion percentage. I'm going to give him the credit. He's doing good. He's protecting the ball. He's not, having rough turnovers. You see against the Southern game, Nuss had 2 pretty rough turnovers. One of them gave Southern their first touchdown of the game. It was like a 90-something yard pick six, 99 yards or something. I mean, man, that showed more carelessness to me all year than I've seen from Jaden Daniels. You know what I mean? Jaden Daniels has really been on his P's and Q's, in my opinion. My score prediction for this game, look, it'll be rough. It'll be rough to see, but I think Mississippi State's going to take this one. I think it'll be, I'll give it 35-28. I think both teams are going to get active early. I think LSU, might fall behind more towards that half, coming out of that halftime break as well, and they're going to have to pick the pace up towards the end of the game, and, they might be another fall short moment, another learning moment for this team, but, it's their first time playing SEC competition this season. In the first game, you saw them take one. I wouldn't... I wouldn't be surprised to see LSU pull it out. It could happen. It's not impossible. If, they go out there and, like I said, knock Will Rogers off his spot, put some pressure on him, allow him to make the mistakes, defense capitalizes, they expose some holes in that scheme, then it'll be possible. But, it'll take almost everything going perfect for LSU for them to be able to pull this one off Saturday night. The first real taste of competition that LSU's seen all year, the DBs are going to have to be ready. I think that the real thing Mississippi State's going to expose here against LSU is their linebackers. LSU's linebackers aren't able to seal the deal on the tackle sometimes, and Brian Kelly once again emphasized that LSU will be fighting for every blade of grass. Brian Kelly emphasized that LSU will be fighting for every blade of grass. And, they're going to have to capitalize, not make mistakes. They're going to have to go get their man down. No broken tackles. Don't allow any busted coverage. Just don't have the middle of the field wide open. You're going to have to really, really just condense this scheme with Mike Leach's air raid offense. It's going to be nerve-wracking. It's a good test, though. We got Alabama coming up at home as well. I think preparing for Bryce Young is just about as rough as preparing for Will Rogers. So Brian Kelly, Mike Denbrock, Matt House, Cortez, Joe, they're going to have their hands full as LSU now enters SEC play. This season's about to shape up. College football is in full swing. You got a lot of great NFL games going on as well. We saw the Chargers and the Chiefs go into some action, Man. How about Clyde Edwards from LSU, dude? He told me to draft him in fantasy. You know what? I did it, and he goes out there and scores 16 points for me. So, Clyde, thank you for keeping me in that week 2 matchup in fantasy. And I'm really excited to see, how the rest of these seasons unfold for National Football League and the NCAA. This has been it for this pregame show for LSU versus Mississippi State. Make sure to follow the Verdant Verdict for more LSU coverage. We're going to be at the game. We're going to be giving you live updates. We're going to be giving you good little videos. We're going to be filling you in on everything that's happening. So make sure to follow. Links will be in the bio. Subscribe, like, share this to a friend. Let them know you were watching the Verdant Verdict, and thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.